Good morning, Bulldog Nation. I'm sitting here in the PHS library with Coach Emily Logan. So we didn't get a chance to get together last week.
No.
Did that on purpose so you would have a day to breathe, because that was a crazy week last week. Started out with a tournament in Birmingham at the Finley Center.
Yes, sir.
I can never remember the name of that tournament. I called it the Heffalump tournament.
Yes. Heftstrong.
Heftstrong.
Yes.
But pool play went about as well as expected, but then you ran back into someone you've seen before in Jasper.
Yes.
And they'd seen you before, so they knew what to expect, and
Yes.
they came out on top this time.
They did.
But it's kind of, we talked about before you went to that tournament that you wanted the girls to have that experience of playing there because that's where the state tournament would be. Well, it turns out with some news this past week that that's where your super regional is going to be as well.
Yes. Yeah, it was, I am always about making the girls believe that they will be made for the moment whenever we get there. And so the state tournament is actually at the Birmingham Crossplex. And so, but the look of it is just like how it would be at the Crossplex. So, but yeah, so I'm always big on being made for the moment. I go as crazy as playing crowd noise for postseason, and everything else. And so I took them unknowingly, unknowing about anything that was going on with the VBC and super regionals. And so it was kind of like a little God wink that, you were sticking true to what you do as a coach and making them be made for the moment. And so, pool play and that tournament, we didn't play as well as we could, but it gave them opportunities to know how the floor is, how the crowd will be. So then when we all found out that regionals would be there, of course, we're sad, the VBC is just such a great place to play, and it's kind of, it's just a memorable place and close to home, and, where everybody can come. But immediately they were talking about, okay, well, y'all remember that this line, doesn't look as bright when you're facing the window, and so they were already talking about all those things, and that's really, all that I could ask for them is to remember what the feeling was like and remember all the things that they think would help us and would be kind of an edge for us when we get there for regionals.
It also says a lot to the confidence that they're already planning for that.
Yes.
But you finish that tournament up, and then starts the crazy week. Two area wins over Brewer.
Yes.
Home and away.
We love that.
I'm going to come back to that one to touch on a little thing there. You had, there was a tournament in there, I think, the Morgan County tournament, varsity tournament, where a little bit of history was made there.
Yes.
So congratulations
Thank
to
you.
the Morgan County varsity champions, the Priceville Bulldogs there. And then followed it up this week with another Morgan County tournament champion,
Yes.
the JV Priceville Bulldogs.
Yes, it's been such like a whirlwind, talking about that week of just craziness where, I told him at the beginning of the week that it was going to be crazy. It's just going to be hard. You're going to be challenged. But what better time to do it than before we get into the postseason and these girls really see what they're made of. And so there was a lot of girls banged up, bruised up at the end, but what I loved about my team is that they just kept on. They just kept on and kept on. And they're just different. The team, both varsity and JV, they're just different. They're just built different. And, with our first loss to Austin in that county tournament in pool play, we shook it off. It was two very close sets.
Yes.
And, I went out into the lobby with the girls and, I knelt down with them and just told them, you've got to put it behind you. You got to put this one behind you. And I believe with all the confidence in the world that you're going to see them again in the tournament. And I said, you've got to put this one behind you, and I know you'll find a way, because they always do. That's just what I'm confident in. They will always find a way to figure it out and to get it together and to pull out wins. And that's exactly what they did. And they didn't drop a set the rest of the day. So I am just very grateful that I can just have that confidence in them, that they will find a way, and they did throughout that whole week. And with the only loss being to Austin in that pool play game. And then coming back and getting that revenge win at the end for the championship, just put the cherry on top of all of that.
Oh yeah.
So really exciting. Then yeah, JV last night, they just played outstanding. And, you know, as varsity coach, you sit there and you're watching the future. And so it's so fun when I get to just like be excited and you know, have shocked faces, because just some of their play is just next level. And so I was sitting there just, you know, not wanting this one to end, but, you know, just thinking about
excited
the
for what
future.
you said.
Yeah.
And did they even drop a set?
They didn't. And nobody scored more than 21 points.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But I know that from talking with parents and a couple of the players, you had some tough choices on who to keep JV and who to make varsity and everything. There's some of those JV girls that could be playing varsity this year.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm glad that you have that kind of depth and that those girls get that chance. Whereas if they were on varsity, they might not get the opportunity to get the playing time that they're getting right now on JV. So it's great experience. It's great work for them. And it just means that much more for the future of the Lady Bulldogs.
Yeah, so thinking back, and yeah, this year's cuts at tryouts were the hardest I've ever seen. And so, you know, on day one of tryouts, I was already excited for what was to come. And then, figuring out who was JV, who was varsity. And then I had to think back, and it's this senior group. Obviously, Leah Childress wasn't here yet, but Amberly and Maddie and Emmy were sophomores, and all very talented. They could have been playing varsity my first year coaching here. But we obviously had 7 seniors that year. We had the pieces of the puzzle that we needed. And so I kept them on JV and, you know, had to talk with them about, but what you're going to gain is so much more than just what your skill could do up on varsity. And so their leadership on JV flourished their sophomore year to who they are as senior leaders now. And then you just add Leah Childress to the mix, and that group together is just phenomenal leaders. And then talking about the JV, I pulled 6 of them up to varsity because I am going to lose 4 key seniors after this season. And so I pulled some up for skill that could see, you know, points, could see rallies. And then I pulled some for the energy and for the experience and the atmosphere, you know. And thinking back to these seniors now, when they were sophomores, I pulled them up at the end of their JV season, and they got to experience a state tournament. And so when we lost in the Elite Eight, I got all of them together, and I got each grade level, and I said, you have to remember this feeling, and you have to not want it again. And we're going to be back here. It's going to become the new normal. And so they're excited for these that are being brought up to get to hopefully experience that as well. And we actually had practice this morning at 5:30 a.m. and those 6 JV girls came, and they just made our practice better. And my girls just welcomed them and helped them and just gave me chills this morning. and they pranked me and dressed up as Adam Sandler instead of in their practice uniforms. So, but they got all of that together, and the seniors didn't even know who I was moving up, so they somehow found out, you know, who I'd asked and already got that planned, and they showed up this morning, and I'm like, okay, wow, that was scary how y'all did that so fast, but very, very excited for the future, yeah.
So, bouncing back to that crazy week, 22 games over the course of a week, 19-3 in sets, 8-1 in matches, and a couple of and a championship in there too. So that's outstanding. You know, I was thinking the other day, you can count the number of sets you guys have lost on your fingers.
Yeah.
That's pretty special.
Yeah, you know, I said it just a little bit ago. This team is just different. How they carry themselves is different. How they play together is different. How they love each other is different. How they communicate with each other is different. And it's really just a testament to those girls. You know, I don't hit one serve. I don't pass one ball. I don't set one ball, and I don't hit one ball. And so all of that is a testament to their hard work, and they truly have a goal, and they have a vision for where they want this season to end. And with those seniors, with those 4 seniors leading it, like I said earlier, I just have confidence that they're going to find a way. They're always going to find a way, even in adversity.
And I think they're going to find a way to get you to a point in history. Within reach, getting to within the area tournament, you could get to your 100th win as a coach.
Yeah. And in my 3rd season, I just like, and you know, at the end of the day, it's not about me, and we wouldn't be even at this point where I could get my 100th career win, and it's crazy to even already think about it. But it wouldn't be this way if they weren't who they were. You know, we're knocking on the door of a volleyball record, and so a team to get 40-something wins in a season is almost just about unheard of, you know, and so it's only been done, I think, twice in Crossville history, and so it wouldn't happen if it wasn't for them. But there really is not another team that I would rather do it with, just because it's just been so enjoyable. It's just been such a journey. And, you know, at the county tournament, I told them there's no other team I'd be riding with. There's no other team that I'd want to do it with and make history, because it just works so dang hard. So
let's talk about next week. I know there's been some changes.
Yes.
State made they moved a date up, so everybody's got to make some changes.
Yes.
Monday, area game.
Yes, sir.
East Limestone here at PHS.
Yes, sir.
Tuesday, area game at Ardmore.
Yes.
Thursday, out of area game,
Yes.
back here at PHS against Hueytown.
Yes, sir.
Were they at the Findlay tournament?
There were about 32 teams there, so I may not remember off the top of my head, but
It's another one of those Birmingham teams. 6A team also.
Yeah.
And then next Saturday, tournament at the Supreme Courts in Gunnersville.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and this Saturday,
Yeah.
tournament here, PHS,
Here.
varsity tournament. So another very busy week for you coming up.
Yeah.
We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And Bulldog Nation, I've said it before, you got 3 chances coming up within the next week to get down here to the gym. Check out these Lady Bulldogs. They're so much fun to watch, and they're so good at what they do. Saturday, Monday, Thursday, get down here. Watch these girls I'll be here. I'll see you here. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye, Bulldog Nation.